What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video I'm going to be discussing all the reasons why Gabe is a demigod. And yes, this is a Percy Jackson theory. So I'm a huge fan of Percy Jackson, and I haven't seen like any Percy Jackson theories on the web, which is kind of surprising because it's one of the most popular book series ever. So yeah, I'm going to be posting my first Percy Jackson video. Hopefully, a lot more are coming. And remember, if you guys like these videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel as it does help a lot. And yeah, let's just get straight into this. So, if you guys need a refresher, Gabe was a character in the first book of the Percy Jackson series, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Gabe was an abusive stepfather to Percy, and he married Sally sometime after Percy was born. The Percy Jackson series is a book series with the main character Percy. Percy finds out that he's actually a demigod and the son of Poseidon. During the series, we meet many other demigods. Demigods live in both the worlds of humans and the worlds of the gods. Humans can't see gods and monsters because of the mist. The mist makes it so humans are completely oblivious to the fact that the gods actually exist and monsters exist. Okay, so Poseidon falls in love with Sally Jackson, Percy's mother, and they have a baby, Percy. But the gods don't stay forever, and eventually Poseidon left Percy because of a command from the king god Zeus. After Poseidon left Sally, Sally knew that her son was a demigod and knew that he had to be protected. In this world, demigods smell with the scent of their godparent, which is how monsters can find the demigods. Sally married Gabe because he was the smelliest human she could find, and he could mask Percy's scent with his own. But this raises some problems. First of all, Percy is the son of one of the three eldest gods, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. The sons of the eldest gods are said to have an even greater smell than those of other demigods because their parent was more powerful, so in turn they are more powerful than their like peer demigods. Percy is an especially powerful demigod, and another demigod, Nico, who is a son of Hades, another one of the eldest gods, says that Percy is the most powerful demigod he knows. And this is a great feat because because Nico knows many other demigods. He's been to both demigod camps, Camp Half-Blood and Camp Jupiter. He knows many other children of the eldest gods. Thalia, who is a daughter of Zeus, Jason, who's a son of Jupiter, Jupiter's the Roman incantation, or no, not incantation, incarnation of Zeus, and his half-sister, Nico's half-sister Hazel, who is the daughter of Pluto, who is the Roman incarnation of Hades. So if Percy was even more powerful than all of those demigods of the eldest gods, then Percy's scent must be very powerful. Also, Percy is the one the great prophecy is talking about, and Percy also fought Kronos, a titan, to a standstill, and he beat Ares in one-to-one combat, so he is extremely powerful. This means that Gabe must be especially stinky to be able to cancel out all of that. And only a demigod will be able to come remotely close to Percy's scent because we see that Percy's stench even outweighs other demigods, so a mortal wouldn't have any chance. Also, I think that monsters are able to differentiate regular mortal stench and demigod stench, but like that's not confirmed. Okay, think about this. Grover said that he could smell Gabe's scent on Percy, so that means that if Gabe is really a regular mortal, then mortal scent rubs off on demigods, and demigod scent rubs off on mortals. In the real world, demigods have left Camp Half-Blood and Camp Jupiter and lived in the mortal world, which means that their scent must have rubbed off on mortals. But we don't see any monsters attacking regular mortals thinking that they are demigods, which means that demigod scent doesn't rub off on mortals, and mortal scent doesn't rub off on demigods. Or another explanation would be monsters can differentiate between regular mortal stench and demigod scent. Either way, the explanation of Gabe being immortal and his mortal stench rubbing off on Percy just doesn't make any sense. Whichever answer is the correct one, for why Gabe's stench rubs off on Percy. It doesn't really matter. All that matters is that Gabe has to be a demigod. And if that's not enough for you, just consider this. The mist hides everything from the gods' world, from the mortals. So at the end of the book, when Sally kills Gabe with Medusa's head, how did he see it? How did she do it? For one, Gabe would have been sitting around with all of his poker friends. So how was he the only one that got turned to stone? And how did he even get turned to stone? The mist should have hid the Medusa's head from the mortal's eyes, and they shouldn't have been able to see Medusa's head. But Gabe obviously saw it because he got turned to stone, and he saw it because he was a demigod. And you might be asking, but how did Sally see Medusa's head if she is just a mortal? Well, we actually get the answer in the fifth and final book of the Percy Jackson series, Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. We learn that some mortals have the ability to see through the mist and can even see better than demigods. And we learn that Sally Jackson is one of these people, which is how she knew it was Poseidon she fell in love with. So we've proven that Gabe is a demigod, but who is his demigod parent? And did he know that he was a demigod? The second question is easy enough to answer. I don't think they knew he was a demigod, because if he did, I think that Sally would have told Gabe that Percy was a demigod, and maybe Gabe would have just guessed that Percy was a demigod. So I think that Gabe didn't know that he was a demigod. Okay, and the first question is also pretty easy enough to explain. We actually see a person in the Percy Jackson universe that smells pretty much as bad as Gabe. In fact, she smells so bad that she has to work at a dumpster and live in the dumpster just to mask her stench. You guys might not know her or recognize her because she's not a main character, and she isn't even in one of the main 15 books. She appears in the handbook from Camp Jupiter as the villain. And the character is Mimi. She is the daughter of the Roman goddess Mephistis, who is the goddess of noxious vapors. And I think that this goddess is the one that Gabe is a descendant from, because he really does stink, and he has to stink a lot to mask up Percy, as stated earlier. And no one stinks as much as in the series as Mimi. So Gabe has to be like Mimi, which means that he is a descendant of the goddess of Mephistis. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Too easy!